Before proceeding with the installation, configuration, operation, or maintenance of these products, please ensure you have thoroughly reviewed all relevant documentation provided by Balluff and other pertinent sources, including installation guides, configuration manuals, and operational protocols. It is essential for users to adhere strictly to all applicable codes, laws, and safety standards during installation, wiring, adjustment, and operation. Installation, configuration, use, assembly, disassembly, and maintenance of these products must be performed by individuals who have received appropriate training and are fully versed in following the outlined procedures and safety measures. Failure to comply with these prerequisites may result in non-compliance with legal and safety standards. We expressly disclaim any liability or responsibility for damages, whether direct, indirect, special, or consequential, arising from the use or application of the information contained herein. Balluff Inc., in no event, will be held accountable for any damages incurred as a result of using this guide. The content of this guide is intended for illustrative purposes only and does not ensure suitability for specific applications due to the diverse range of variables and requirements in different scenarios. Users are entirely responsible for verifying the applicability and safety of this information for their unique situations. Acceptance and use of this information come with an understanding that any and all risks associated with the installation, configuration, assembly, or use of these products are fully assumed by the user. Please note that this document does not serve as a warranty of any sort, nor does it modify or supplement any valid warranty provided by Balluff Inc. for these products. The information herein supplements the original warranty terms without altering them.
With sensor is connected to a power supply that gives 24 volts. We can also use the pin 2 as a trigger. That means that we can use an external sensor to trigger an inspection. Also, well, for the XF1 port, this port is used for the process communication protocol, which can be Profinet, EtherDP, UDP, TCP/IP. This port doesn't have a default IP address. We first need to enable this port going through the IoT port. The IoT port is used to configure the sensor and inspection, and it has a default IP address as you see right here. The sensor itself also has an I/O port that is mainly used for external lighting control. This port is configurable in the web user interface. Once we have seen the overview of the sensor, we're going to go over the network topology to what we're trying to do in this series of videos. We want to connect the sensor and control it through EtherDP. So we have Rockwell PLC, the sensor, and both of them are connected to an unmanaged switch. And we have our laptop connected to the same unmanaged switch. Now, something important is that we can enable the dual mode on the sensor so that both the web user interface and the process communication, which is EtherDP, can be reached through the same network. To do this, all we need to do is to change tab to configure. If we go to settings, under process communication, we have to enable this little control over here. And as just right now, I'm going to use for process communication this IP address, and for the web user interface, I'm going to use this one. Both of them are where I'm able to connect to them under the same network protocol. So once that is done, what we need to do now is to create our PLC program. So once we selected the appropriate controller, or if we have a PLC program already that we need to use for this sensor, we need to add a new Ethernet device. How do we do that? Well, we go to Ethernet port and we click on new module. Once there, we need to look for our sensor, which is BVS. Okay, the EDS file can be found on the web from Balluff, so you can get that from there. And all we have to do is to create this one, give it a name, for example, BVS Sensor, and then we give it the same IP address that we configure for process communication. So like this, then we click on OK, and then we click on close. Once the sensor is created, you'll notice that if we go to control tags, three different arrays of data has been created, one configuration, one for inputs, and one for outputs. The sensor works with headers from input and output. So what this means is, for example, the header and input will tell us the overall status of the sensor and the inspection, and the header on outputs is the PLC command telling the sensor what to do. So right now I'm gonna download the program. Sorry for that. First we need to go who active. This is my PLC. I'm gonna click download. Right now, the sensor is already communicating with the PLC. We don't have any problem right there. And I'm also getting some data in the input buffer, as you can see right now. So that means that the data is already being processed with the PLC. So on the next part of the video, we're gonna go over what this data means, what each of these bytes are, and how can we trigger an inspection from to the sensor and then get the results back into the PLC.